My name is Ronaware, and I hate to start us off in this way, but I don't know how else to start it. So basically, what this is a documentary of the startup of a company.
What is this I'm feeling? If you wanna leave, I'm with it. We've come too far to give up.
Communication. So this is actually take 3. The first 2 didn't work out so well. And not really my fault, but I guess things never really are. Anyway, communication, why it's important and how to achieve it. Here's the thing. So right now we're going through a whole app redesign. I'm going to check this just because now I have no faith in this thing recording stuff. Okay, everything's still good. I'm going to keep it rolling because I don't want to lose the momentum. So we're going through this app redesign. The app needs to be updated. It doesn't have to be completely redesigned, but it's better this way just because parts of it need to be updated because of the different technology we're going for. Not different technology, but different items can be paired with. So we thought instead of just redesigning parts of it, keeping bits, we're going to scratch the whole thing and look completely brand new and nice and shiny. I designed, as part of the features, I designed a slider on it. Kind of like, you'd see back in the old iPhone days, where you just kind of swipe your finger across the bottom of the screen, boom, the iPhone unlocks. Easy peasy, right? It looks just like that. Means a little bit, doesn't look just like it, but pretty similar, right? This looks like a slider. I thought I'd communicate it to the team ahead of time. This was a slider, not a button. I put it out there, the app design, for everybody to kind of critique. Everybody has some time to play with it a little bit. Nobody knows it's a slider. No one. They think it's a button. They think it's a weird shaped looking button. So, how do I avoid that? How could I have avoided that? Well, for starters, I could have made it very clear that, like verbally to them, like, hey, this is a button, it is a slider, not a button. But even then, I feel like I did tell at least some of them, that this is how it was. But maybe it just didn't quite transfer over, or who knows? Something happened. People forgot. Maybe I forgot. Maybe I never said it like I thought I would. But there's this, I guess, like a fine balance between communicating, not communicating, right? Or over communicating and not communicating at all. And right in the middle of that is communication, pure, simple communication. It's the first law of social cybernetics, where communication is only possible between equals. The thing is that if you don't communicate, nobody will know what you're doing, right? No matter how obvious it seems to you, nobody else will get it. Just because as you're designing something, as you're creating something, as you're typing something out, any phrase you say or whatever, you got your nose to the ground, so you can't really see the whole thing. Somebody described it to me once this way. Like, imagine looking at a giant picture, right? A huge picture at a museum, and it's this beautiful, scenic Italian countryside. And what you're doing is you're looking at this picture, you're about an inch from it. So all you're seeing is this tiny little square. You're not seeing the whole thing. And that's what happens when you design. Is you're kind of stuck in this one little area, one little space, getting through the app, like one page at a time or one flip at a time, whatever you want to call it. And you're not seeing the full picture, the whole glory of this thing, the glory. So one thing that's good to do is once in a while just step back, give it a day or two, let it kind of fizzle out of your memory, and come back to it and play with it again. The odds are, it might help, it might not, but the odds are at least you might get a new perspective on it. The other thing is, be clear in your communication. I know a lot of people, they repeat themselves over and over and over and over and over again, right? They say the same thing, so every conversation that could have been 5 minutes long, choose the third. It's over communication. Not only is that wasteful people's time, it makes the other person kind of feel like an idiot, because you gotta start thinking, like, why does this person need to keep drilling this into me again and again and again? I get it, I got it 30 minutes ago. So what you have to do is, as you say something, as you communicate to someone, go for the beeline, where you make short, clear, concise points. The whole point there being short and clear, right? Or concise is the same thing, kind of, but anyway. So, for instance, in this case, what I could have done was I could have simply laid out an email along with the invite for the app appraisal, or whatever you want to call it. And in the email, just simple bullet points. Listen, like, here's a slider on this, for page 1. Slider This top part is a button, this bottom part is a button too, the banner's in the bottom because of this and this and this. Page 2, da-da-da-da-da-da, page 3, da-da-da-da-da, and go page by page, so you like simple notes. That would be no confusion at all. The good thing though about having people confused is that if my engineers and app developers and whoever got confused by this, imagine what would happen to the customer. That's the whole other side of this coin. It's like, what happens once this is out in the wild and nobody knows what to do with it? People think it's a button. So there's the other side of the coin. It's like, at what point should you not communicate? Learning experience, I guess, right? Like always. Nothing but learning experiences. In other news, we're getting really close. We got a first draft of the contract that we're gonna send out. We kind of been through it pretty quick. A lot of changes. Probably half of it needs to be rewritten. It's back with my partner now. He's doing the rewrite. I will be going on vacation tomorrow, so I'm recording this a day early. We have a phone call a day early too, which reminds me. Okay, still 30 minutes. We're good there. And I'm not sponsored by M&M's, but I freaking love those things. So I think that's pretty much where we are now. I'll be going on vacation in Lake Tahoe. Really excited about that. I've never been. I'm going to be doing some snowboarding late June. It's pretty incredible. And that's pretty much where we left off. I'm coming back Wednesday. I'll get the contract then. Bang out any last details, then send it off to hopefully our new partner. And then give them about a week to review, because I'm assuming that's about how long it'll take. Alright.